In today's video, I'm going to show you 5 essential glute exercises that help me to transform my glutes, grow them even as a heart gainer. And I also believe that everyone should be doing these. So first I'm going to warm up and then we'll start with the first exercise. Hip thrusts, probably the best exercise you can do for your glutes. Absolutely love them. Unfortunately, just a bit annoying to set up. That's why so many people avoid them or they're trying to do that on the machines. The positioning of the machines is many times not greatest, okay? It really depends on the brand and so on. I always get my clients and recommend to everyone to start with free weights. You will learn the best on the free weights. The very important thing is your setup. When you are setting up your whole exercise, you need to ensure first of all that the bench is not too low. Okay, many people use like hip thrust box, but it is too low. Unless you are a very short person with very short legs and shins, you will not be able to lock your hips at the top and contract your glutes properly. And instead of your glutes, you will be engaging more of your legs and your back. What we can see many times as well, that people actually have bigger legs, but the glutes are still just not going there, even though they are lifting a lot of weight in this kind of setup. But this is exactly why. First of all, they are lifting too heavy, and second, the setup is incorrect. Where you want to have your bench or a box is just under your kneecap. If it's down here, if it's in the middle of your shins, then the movement will not be the greatest for your glutes. In the top position of your hip thrust, you want to be in a 90-degree angle. That is the best setup for the hip thrust. Second thing is to use the Olympic plates. It really depends again on the gym. If you have 5 kilo plates like this, it would be the best, so you can start with lighter weight. If you, for example, have the plates that start only from 10 kilos, and when you add 10, the total weight will be 40 kilograms, but if it's too heavy for you, then you will need to find a different setup. You can use either the pre-loaded barbells and you just put that on you, or start with the dumbbell instead. And then once you will be strong enough to use the Olympic plates, make sure that you use them. Do not use the short plates because you will not be able to roll the barbell comfortable on you. As you can see here, that's it basically. Now you position your feet. The feet should be a bit wider than hip width apart, not narrow, not straight. Again, that will be more legs, and it will be harder for you to contract and squeeze the glutes together. So you want to have them slightly wider, but again, not too wide. That would be more your glute medius. But the whole point of this movement is to target your glute max. And so what you want to again do, feet slightly wider than hip width apart, toes slightly out. Again, it will help you to squeeze the glutes together, okay? Not straight. And now, always when you're picking up the bar from the floor, make sure that you are not arching from the bottom. Contract your abs and engage your core. You will always breathe in. This is tight, and now you will push against your heels. The chin stays down, we are not looking back. You're breathing on the way down, and now push through the heels and squeeze the glutes together. Make sure to lock the hips at the top. Close my count. And 10. Okay. You need to make sure that for every single rep you will contract your glutes at the top and you will lock. If you're not locking your hips, again, that's the whole point of this movement. So if you load heavy, amazing, good job, but you need to make sure that you lock your hips. If you load too heavy and you do not lock your hips, it's pointless. It's basically just ego lifting, whether knowingly or not. This is where you want to lock the hips. This is where my glutes are fully contracted, not here. Okay? If you go just until here, that is not glute max. Okay? Always start with the lighter load and work yourself up to the heaviest weight you can lift just on the last set. You know what's coming, Romanian deadlifts. I love them a lot. So many different variations as well. Normally I would start with dumbbells, but still, even if you're advanced, if you've been lifting for a couple of years, the dumbbells, I trust, are the best variation you can do. I always say the same thing in all my vlogs and all my videos, that you can go actually around your knees rather than to be leaning forward, where you actually engage more of the lower back. Today I'm doing dumbbells. Of course you can use the barbell, you can use the trap bar. I love the trap bar or the hex bar very much. This is like a cage around. So there are, for example, B-stands, Romanian deadlifts. I've seen this single leg with the one leg on the bench, but honestly I think it's just too confusing and it's pointless, and just most of the people, I believe that they do it because they are struggling to feel the glutes in any Romanian deadlifts in the first place. So they do this because they saw that on TikTok or Instagram, whatever, and believe that that will help them to feel the glutes. But again, it will be just confusing, and if you're unable to execute the normal dumbbell Romanian deadlift, that will not help you. It's not no cheat code or anything like that. So always make sure that you learn on the dumbbells. But even over the years, you still can use the dumbbells. There's no problem with that. I'm also using the straps. They help me with the grip and not to start giving up the movement just because I can't hold the dumbbells anymore, especially when you're doing a lot of repetitions of the heavy weight. So always using the straps. Sometimes the belt, it depends on the day, but it's not needed, especially if your back is strong. Feet will be only hip width apart, not wider. Okay, you shouldn't be stepping wide. Just hip width apart with the toes straight this time, and we'll be focusing on the hip hinge, driving the hips back as far as you can while sliding the dumbbells close to the knees, and then drive up. When you're using the dumbbells, have them on the side of your knees, not in the front. Okay, that's where you have that flexibility. Okay, and again, hips back as much as we can, not reaching down. You want to reach down with the torso. It's about driving back as far as you can. Here I have the full stretch, so I will drive up. There is no need to go lower. If you go low, you will just engage your hamstrings and back more. So focus just on stretching the glutes as much as you can. And that's how you do Romanian lift. The next exercise is the Strutter Lift. This is a knee dominant exercise. You can do any different type of squats, but personally I prefer to use a dumbbell and do more a Strutter Lift compared to the normal barbell squats. If you are using a barbell, even for the low bar squat, you will still place more stress or tension on your back, as well as your quads will be engaging a little bit more. That's why I really love this exercise. So I will show you how to do it correctly. First, you need to make sure that you position your feet correctly and not too wide apart, which would again get you to engage more of your adductors and your glute medius compared to the glute max. We need to make sure that we are stretching and getting most of that stretch in the bottom position. So the feet shouldn't be too wide apart. Slightly more than hip width apart, and toes just a little bit out, but not wide. Now you grab the dumbbell, engage your core, and drive the hips back first, then drop down to the knees. You want to have your torso around 45-degree angle all the time, and especially at the bottom. Okay, this is what you can see a lot. This is not what we want to do. So first hips back, and now get to that horizontal position, but do not drop your torso and do not think going as low as you can. Okay, it's not about reaching down, it's about fully stretching your glutes. Now to get some unilateral exercise, my personal favorite is the deficit reverse lunge, which will allow me to drop lower compared to if I would only stand on the floor. This will create more stretch on my glutes. Of course, there are different type of lunges and split squats that you can do. You can do walking lunges, Bulgarian split squats, back foot elevated split squats, front foot elevated split squats, so on. There are really a lot of different variations, but it's good to get strong on all of them, as I always say. Today I will show you the deficit reverse lunges. So what we want to do, use a plate. Again, shouldn't be too high. After that, the movement wouldn't be really nice. We want to use just a plate that is, I would say, like 2-3 centimeters tall. You can use the step as well or anything like that, but I'm using just a 10 kilo plate. It really depends on what you have available as well. So let's go. I'm just taking 2 dumbbells. Step up on the plate. Make sure that your heel is not dropping down, because you will need to push through the heel, so make sure that your whole foot is on the platform. Now we'll lean forward slightly to kind of 45-degree angle. Should be nice and smooth control movement, but as well you do not want to kind of reach down because it will target your back more. So instead, make sure that your chest is up, core tight. You will lean slightly. Now do a big step back, but not too big. And once you touch the floor with the back leg, bend the knee and drive it down to the floor. Okay, this should be a bottom position. Avoid going too far, so you put too much strain on your knee. That's why sometimes you can be feeling that pain on your knee. So always make sure that you bend that knee once you step out, bend and drive it down. Now once you are in the bottom position, notice my spine, my upper body. So again, we are in a 45-degree angle. And here we are creating that nice stretch in this glute. This is the leg and the side we are working on. That one you are standing on to make sure that you're following on this side. After that, you will push the floor down with this heel and try to engage this leg as little as possible. That one is just assisting, so you do not want to load again too heavy and pushing yourself off the back one, because in fact this one will be working less. Always make sure that you use this one just a little. It's just assisting, and most of the work will go for this glute and this leg. Breathe in, keep that core tight, toes slightly forward but not too down. Okay, and now push the floor away. You can start with just the body weight, practice the movement and try to get that glute engaging in the movement, and after that slowly just start adding a little bit of load and progress from there. To finish off with an isolation exercise, we'll be doing the glute kickbacks, which will again target the glute max. Again, we need to make sure that we position ourselves correctly and sit up correctly as well. Step back as far as you can. I understand that some of you are shorter people. You will not be able to step so far back as me because I have quite long arms. So just step as far as it is possible for you and your body. Now you will hold with both arms. Of course, you can just hold with one arm, but you might struggle with the balance. Lean forward slightly to 45-degree angle. We don't want to go too low. This will be harder for your lower back, and you wouldn't get that much of your glute max as you want. So torso just slightly to 45-degree angle. Engage your core and perform a slow and controlled movement. If you will load too heavy, you will need to use the momentum and starting with this kind of movements. That's where you will engage your glute less. You can hurt potentially your lower back. So keep that upper body really tight and steady and squeeze your glute at the top. Now breathe in slowly, reach forward, and then again from here, contract. You shouldn't be going too high, because if you go higher, you'll be again just hurting your lower back, and that's why so many of you might be experiencing the pain. Go until you can feel the full contraction in your glute, and reach down. Don't forget to breathe. Always breathe in, inhale on the way down to your belly, but still keep it tight. Do not relax your belly, okay? Keep it tight, squeeze, and breathe in. These were 5 best glute exercises you can do. There are of course different exercises, and do not keep it just on these 5. Your body requires a variety of the movement, different tempo, different rep ranges and so on. There is so much you can do, but these should be your basics that you should be implementing in your routine regularly. If you'll enjoy this video, please give it a thumbs up and make sure to subscribe for more content.